You know that feeling? Waiting on news, an email you have not opened, a test result, a message that just said, "Can we talk?" Your chest gets tight, your mind starts writing stories, and here's the strange part. Nothing has even happened yet. It's not the news that scares us, it's the not knowing. Earlier this week, I watched a movie about that exact fear. And I went back to watch it again 3 days later because I kept thinking about it. It's a movie about the day the whole world learned we are not alone. And the movie is called Disclosure Day. The poster said, "We deserve to know." But this movie is not a movie review. What I want to share with you is what this movie showed me about fear of the unknown, about trust, and about letting something bigger move through you. And it came to me through 3 women in the story. One who resists, one who trusts, and one who learns to be carried. Somewhere along the way, I saw myself in each of them. Maybe you will too. Welcome to my channel. I'm Molly. Spoilers ahead. If you have not seen the movie yet, go watch it first. This video will be here when you get back. So let me tell you about Jane. Jane is afraid, and the more I sat with her story, the more I realized I know Jane. You probably do too. Here's her situation. She used to be a nun and she left because she lost her calling, her sense of purpose, her direction. And you know what happens when purpose goes quiet, right? You start having doubt. Doubt about people. Doubt about yourself. It's like the purpose was holding everything else up. And once it went, everything below started to shake and crumble. I remember a scene where Noah telepathically took control of Jane. And Jane tried very hard to save herself by gripping very hard on a crucifix necklace. However, the necklace slips out of her hand anyway. And I sat there thinking, oh, I know that grip. That's what we all do with fear. We squeeze with force, and the harder we squeeze, the faster it slips away. You cannot hold your way out of fear. Jane doesn't know that yet. Honestly, most of us don't. So later, with so many questions in her mind, she finally called Sister Maura. Her questions was, does God love us? Does He love only us? Because Genesis says that we are His supreme creation. Sister Maura gently interrupts her with 2 words, on earth. And Jane said, what? Sister Maura continued, in Genesis it says we are God's supreme creation on earth. 2 little words. Jane had been reading right past them her whole life. The compass she was gripping already had the answer inside it. She'd just been reading it too small. But the fear keeps pushing. Jane asks, what if all collapse? For you and every person of faith in the world, then what? And that's when Sister Maura says the thing that stopped me. My dear Jane, I don't think you ever doubted your belief in God. I think you've lost your faith in people. Jane thought she was asking about God, but her faith in God was intact the whole time. It was her faith in people that broke. She'd been carrying the wound in the wrong name. And I think that most of us with the unknown, our fear points inward. What if it all collapses out there? Usually means, what if we collapse? What if I fail? And here's the part that stayed with me. Near the end, what finally brings Jane back is a voice, someone calmly calling her name until she comes back to herself. The woman who lost her faith in people is saved by a person. She could not hold her way out of fear. She had to receive her way out. Fear cannot be squeezed away. It lets go when you let something in. Now, the woman on the other end of that phone call is Sister Maura. She has something that I want, and I think it's something we all want. Alignment. Not having all the answers. Being at peace without them. Most of us need the answer before we can relax. We refresh the inbox, we check the phone. Sister Maura doesn't. Jane asks if there could be others out there, and Sister Maura says, yes, I would think so. And then she gives a reason in one sentence. Why would he make such a vast universe, yet save it only for us? Then Jane asks her the real question, the frightened one. If someone proved it to you, would that frighten you? Sister Maura answered, no. Notice that Sister Maura is not claiming. She does not say she knows. She knows exactly as much as Jane does, which is nothing yet. Her calm is not built on answers. Her calm is built on trust. And here's what I keep coming back to. That trust has two layers, and the second one is the one we all forget. Yes, Sister Maura trusts something bigger than herself, but underneath that, she trusts herself. Because being at peace without answers only works if deep down you believe this. Whatever the answer turns out to be, I can meet it. That's self-trust. And be honest, when you're anxious about an unknown or stalling on a decision, what's really missing is usually not the answer. What's really missing is the belief that you could handle the wrong outcome. Trusting the universe and trusting yourself are not two separate things. They are two ends of the same thread. Okay, now Margaret. And here's something, I caught it only when I rewatched the movie. In the movie, the very first moment you see her was a close-up of her eye. She's at her mirror inside a ring of light doing her makeup before work. Margaret had a strange encountering with the red cardinal. And right after that, she started speaking random languages she's never spoken before. Russian, Korean, and in the middle of her live weather broadcast, she even talked something that were not human at all. And that live clip went viral around the planet. Then it was Daniel who was able to translate that into English. Don't be afraid of what you don't know. It was not a speech that Margaret wrote. The message just moved through her before she knew what she was, before she even believed it herself. Margaret was a chosen one when she was young, but she was not ready then, not for years. And what carries her through this story is not logic. She has been moving, flowing on intuition, a knowing that arrives without reasons attached. She trusts the feeling before she understands it, and the feeling keeps being right. But a clip like that does not just reach ordinary people, it reaches people who bury the truth, and they come after her. The aliens gifted Margaret with psychic ability. She's able to feel what others feel. She does not use it like a weapon. Every person she meets with empathy. And it gets further than feeling. People who look at her, they see their own hearts carrying. The man leading the hunt, he sees his wife in her, the wife he lost. And when he asks what she is, the answer that comes back is one word: unstoppable. Of course she is. How do you fight someone who appears to you as the person you love most? Empathy. taken all the way, disarms everything. So when the moment comes to finally carry the visitor's message to the world, Margaret does not force it. She calls out the passenger. Not the driver, the passenger. Being carried so the message can move through her. And really, that's what her intuition had been all along. Every pull she followed was practice. The visitors speak through Margaret, Daniel translates, the world receives. No one owned the message. Everyone carried it. That's what a channel is. 3 different women, 3 different energies. Jane lost her calling and the doubt moved in. She grips and loses hold. Sister Maura kept her faith and stays at peace without answers. Margaret trusted her intuition, and when the calling came, it flowed through her. Resistance, alignment, channel. So let me bring this home. That unknown thing you are afraid of right now, the answer you are waiting on, the change you cannot see around? Tell me, which woman do you see yourself in? Are you Jane, gripping, writing dark stories about what hasn't happened? Or are you Sister Maura, at peace without the answers, trusting that a universe this big is not against you? Or are you Margaret, following the quiet pull, staying ready for a moment you cannot schedule? Take a look at that for a second. All of that, and you're a part of it. The unknown is not empty, it's just unopened. And also, that fear is an old wiring. It's just a reflex action. It's not a message, it's not the truth. And in the movie, there are 2 quotes I love very much, as spoken by the character Hugo. He said that the visitors, the aliens, they regard empathy as the foremost evolutionary advantage, the core of animal existence, and our rejection of it is leading us to our extinction. See, with that, the most advanced beings in the story do not rank us by what we build. They rank us by how well we feel each other. It's the survival skill. And now, Margaret's gift makes sense. Of everything they could have placed in the messenger, they chose empathy. And the second quote that I love a lot, also spoken by Hugo, was, "There's an essential need in all of us to believe, and an equal need to be believed." Then comes the moment of disclosure. The truth revealed to the whole world at once. Everything Jane feared, everything Sister Maura trusted, everything Margaret was made ready to carry. And toward the end, it cuts to Sister Maura's scene. She was watching like everyone else, and she just blinks, slow and easy. Here's the real thing about your body. When you're truly afraid, you stop blinking. Your eyes lock open, you brace. When you feel safe, you blink slow. In the final scene, the movie does something very brave. Daniel translates the visitor's full message for Margaret. The words the entire world is waiting to hear. She takes it in, turns to the camera, looks right at us, and says one word: "Listen." Then the movie cut to black, and that's the end. We never hear the message. Listen, there was Margaret's hope path, Sister Maura's peace, Jane's rescue. The visitor's whole teaching, empathy, which is just listening with your whole being. And maybe the relay did not stop at the screen. The movie moved through me, and now is moving through this one to you. This was the fear the whole time, not the fear what's out there, It's just the fear of the thought that we have to face it by ourselves. So this week, when the unknown taps your shoulder, try the blank instead of the grip. Trust the timing. Be the passenger. Don't be afraid of what you don't know. You are not alone. And listen.